Let's take a look. All right, yeah, starting to look pretty. Today I decided to do something a little different. These are oxtails. Most people write oxtails off as disgusting, talking to my wife here, because it is literally the end tail of a cow or an ox, whatever. And the reason they think it's gross is because this is the end of the butt of the cow. Tail comes off, chop the tail off, chop the end off. And they think it's gross, but it's really a really underrated cut of meat. And in order to cook this well, you have to be really patient with it. You have to cook it low and slow and give it a long time to break down all of the collagen. And the reason for that, if you think about it, what does a cow do all day? Swishes that tail back and forth, back and forth. So this is a really tough cut of muscle, and you have to give it a really long time to break that collagen down and become tender and soft. If you cook it too fast, too high of a heat, it's just gonna be a really tough cut of meat, and it's not gonna be very enjoyable. So what I'm gonna do today, two things. I'm gonna smoke it first for about 3 hours on the smoker, and then I'm gonna pull it off and I'm gonna braise it for about another 2 to 3 hours until it becomes just fall apart tender. And by doing that, by smoking it first, I'm gonna get that really deep, smoky flavor on it. And then by braising it in a liquid in an oven on a lower temperature as well, I'm gonna break that collagen down even further into this silky, smooth, gelatinous texture that's gonna just make it really melt in your mouth, delicious. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna put a binder on it, a little mustard. The mustard is a natural tenderizer, so it's gonna kind of even tenderize the meat even more. And then I'm gonna put a mix on it, a seasoning mix that I put together myself. This is just kind of a salt, pepper, garlic with some onion powder, smoked paprika, and cayenne pepper. So it's just a little blend of different seasonings. So I'm gonna start with the mustard, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and season it, and then we'll put it in the refrigerator, let it marinate for a little while. I gotta run to the store, pick up a few more things, and then we'll get it on the smoker and prepare the sides. I'm gonna do this over grits, buttered and cheese grits. I'm gonna do a white aged cheddar cheese grits. And then I'm gonna do a vinegar slaw, coleslaw for that. Not a creamy slaw, but more of a vinegar based. I'm gonna put some apples in there as well to offset the acidic vinegar, but it'll kind of give it a sweetness to it. But those in conjunction with one another, perfect. Okay, so we'll get started. Okay, so the other thing about the mustard, I forgot to mention, is it acts as a binder, so it's gonna really keep the seasoning on the meat and gonna make it stick really well. So, okay, we're all done with this part. We're gonna stick this in the fridge, let it marinate for, I don't know, a couple hours. Ideally, I would leave this overnight, but I bought these last night and just didn't feel like doing it last night, so it'll be fine. We'll let it season for a couple hours while I go to the store and prep this coleslaw and everything, and then get it on the smoker for a few hours. It's early. It's only 8:30 or so here. I'm gonna do these for dinner, so I've got plenty of time. I'm not worried about it. I'm in no rush. So anyway, all right, good to go. All right, these have been marinating in the seasoning for about 2.5 hours. Looking pretty good. I'm gonna go turn the smoker on. I'm doing a hickory and oak blend wood pellet, and we're gonna see how that turns out. You may be wondering why I'm choosing that particular blend, and the reason is because that's what I had on hand. That's the only reason. So, okay, let's go outside, turn the smoker on. It's a beautiful day today. Clear blue skies, sunny, but it's nice and cool today. So, all right, we got the PitBoss going. Let's turn this bad boy on. Fire it up. Hickory and oak blend. Let's open this up. All right, we're gonna set this. I don't know if you can see the temperature. Let's set that to. We're gonna do it on. We're gonna run it at 250. And like I said, we're gonna let that run for about 3 hours or so. So as soon as that fires up, we'll get the oxtails on. Okay, we're gonna let that preheat, get up to 250, and then we will add the oxtails. Okay, our smoker is up to temperature. We're gonna add our oxtails to the smoker, and we're gonna wait 3 hours. All right, we're about an hour and a half in. Let's take a look. All right, yeah, it's starting to look pretty. Let's give them a little flip. It's getting a good bark on it. They still feel really tight, as they should. I didn't expect them to be tender at all. Let's give them a little flip. Yeah. We'll let them go for another hour and a half or so. They smell amazing. Holy cow. All right, about 2.5 hours in. Holy cow, I can already smell them. They smell amazing. So let's take a look at these. There they go. So I'm not gonna go off of internal temp because it's kind of pointless, but I am just gonna check them here. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that temperature. This one's at about 185. They're getting pretty tender. They're still a little bit tight, but I'm not worried about that because the braising is gonna really loosen them up. But what I have been doing is spritzing them with some apple juice just to kind of keep them tender. Not tender, moist. Moist. So they're actually looking really good. They smell amazing. So we're gonna let them go another, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, and then I'll get my braising liquid prepped and preheat the oven, and then we'll throw them in. Okay, so since we only have about 20 minutes left on the smoker, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting my braising liquid ready. I'm just gonna do some aromatics, carrots, celery, onion. I'm gonna just do a rough chop on these. Those in the dish there. So we got the carrots. Cut the ends off of these celery. Cut those in half. Throw those in, and then I'm gonna just cut this onion in half, and then in quarters. Here, this, take some of this loose skin off. Here, throw that in. celery really quick. Pull this out. Let me pull these out really quick. I'm gonna trim these ends off these celery. These are kind of gross. There we go. And I'll put those in. And then I've got some garlic. Just gonna smash it. Put those in. Just put like 5 or 6 in there. Garlic. Do that. Do a little more. There we go. Get all the skin off that. Okay. I'm gonna put some, I'm gonna do the liquid first, I guess. So I'm gonna do some beef stock. Pour some beef stock in. I'm not really doing any measurements. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. And you want the braising liquid to just come up about halfway. And I'll add more if I need to. Beef stock, and then I'm gonna do a red wine. This is a Merlot. Add a little bit of that. And then I'm gonna do some tomato paste here. About a tablespoon, a couple tablespoons maybe. I'm gonna do a little splash of Worcester sauce. And then a splash of soy sauce. And then a splash of balsamic. So I wanna whisk this together just to sort of incorporate that tomato paste so it dissolves in. Okay, that's good. And then I'm gonna add the aromatics in. And then I want to add the garlic. There, and then I'm going to add a couple of bay leaves as well. I've got the oven preheating at 300, and as soon as we pull the oxtails off, we'll put them into here, throw them in the oven, cover it, and we'll do that for 2.5, 3.5 hours probably until it's pull apart, tender, just kind of falling off the bone. And then we'll go from there and make the grits and then plate it up and serve. We'll be done. All right, I think we're about done here. I'm gonna try to get these in without screwing anything up or dropping anything. So, let's grab this. Let's nestle that in there. I may need a bigger dish. Let's see if I can get these to fit. Okay, there we go. Okay, that might work actually. All right, let me turn this off. Okay, there it is. Hopefully you can see that. Go get it in the oven. All right. Let's pull this out. See what we've got. Oh man, this smells amazing. Oh yeah, it's perfect. So pull apart tender. Wow. Juice. I'm trying to show this. I don't know if you can really see that. Oh my word. That was amazing. All right. I'm gonna let this sit for a second. I'm gonna make a gravy out of this juice, and I'm gonna make the grits, and then we'll serve it up. Okay, got the grits going. I also picked up some sharp white cheddar, and I'm gonna put that in here as well. Melt that in here. That'll give it some good flavor. Stir that in. That's good. I also made some gravy. I made a roux with some of the drippings from the oxtails and flour. Just made a basic roux, and then poured in the juice from the braise, and just made a little basic gravy, but it is amazing tasting. So, okay, I think this is all ready. I'm gonna plate it, get everything ready to go, and then show you what we've made. Okay, here we go. Smoked oxtail over grits and a vinegar coleslaw. I'm about to dig in. This looks delicious.